Welcome to this installment of Teacher Feature here at Braxton County High School. With us this morning is Mr. Long, our biology teacher here. Just want to ask a few questions. So, why did you choose to be a teacher, and specifically a biology teacher?
Before I was a teacher, I was in the military. Coming out of the military, I knew that I wanted to help people. This is just a different way that I can help people with the skill sets that I have available. As far as science, I've always been attracted to the creepy crawlies, like this guy right here. And just a lot of science interacts with nature, and nature's something that I really enjoy and have a passion for. So combine the two, and there you go.
Good deal. I'm glad you're able to implement those assets about yourself. Also, what's your favorite part about teaching?
My favorite part about teaching is probably watching the students apply themselves after I've taught them new information. For example, like the cockroaches or the mice that we use. We'll go through and we'll set up, how do you perform an experiment? Well, then it gets to a point where I step back out of the picture and allow the students to make decisions of their own and, try to move forward with critical thinking and an application of the learning that they've acquired at that point.
I think that's a very nice thing about biology is you are able to experiment and learn things for yourself as you go.
Right.
So can you tell us more about the experiments and the tanks and that setups you have going on here?
Well, we have it's a 4-foot by 6-foot maze for the mice. My honor students have the honor of being able to run experiments with these mice. Now, I don't allow them to do any experiment that's going to hurt the mice in any serious way. However, a couple of the experiments that we are working on right now are the preferences between peanut butter and cheese, things of that nature. Mild experiments, but experiments nonetheless. They can be conducted in the classroom on that level, and they get to apply what they've learned. A couple other things, we have some insects and some other little creepy crawlies, if you will. We have the Madagascar hissing cockroaches here, as well as we have mealworms, and that way we can kind of demonstrate and go through and help kids understand with hands-on learning the different stages of the life cycle and how that works and breaks down. Behind you, over here, we have the fish tank. One of the projects that we've done with the fish tank is I've had my students go over population dynamics, understanding, stream assessments, when you break down stream assessments even into the macroinvertebrate surveys, and then also the physical corridor surveys as well. They tested everything from the turbidity of the water to the health of the population of the fish. In this aquarium, we have a really accurate representation of a West Virginia stream. We have bluegill, we have the greengill sunfish in here, and then we also have the creek chub, along with a couple other species in here. This is just a really good way for the kids to get hands-on learning and, power through observation, right, without actually having to get in the creek. So it's a really good opportunity for them to understand that, in addition to, they do have responsibilities in the classroom as far as helping to take care of the animals. So, as far as that goes, it teaches them responsibility as well.
Good deal. Good deal. And what about your other tanks here? I noticed you're trying to set up simulations within all environments in West Virginia.
So we also have a cranberry glades tank. This just affords us the opportunity of making some observations similar to what you would at Cranberry Glades without having to take a whole day just to go there for an hour and come back. In this tank I have a couple plants that represent that. Some are invasive to Cranberry Glades, some are naturally occurring there, but we have pitcher plant starters in here, we have Venus flytrap starters, and we also have a sundew starter in there as well. As you can see, super saturated in the bottom, just like you would find if you went to Cranberry Glades or Dolly Sods in West Virginia. In this tank, we have some residents, not the green tree frog or the American anole is indigenous to West Virginia, but they do thrive in a similar habitat. And this is just typical of what you would see in a red spruce type of undergrowth environment. So again, these tastes are just various setups of different things that you can find in West Virginia, and it allows them to make the observations in the classroom of that without having to leave the classroom, so to speak.
So I think it's a really good thing what you're doing here, allowing our students to observe different environments and climates all around West Virginia and having that all right at reach. And your experience out there, fishing and hunting and the military experience has given you the exposure to this, so you know what to look for in these environments. So it's a very good thing what you're doing here. I just want to thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.